It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Rhys Wicks with 2 on your RFM Hunter News. Residents living next to the Hunter's coal corridor are concerned over the impact of dust blowing off passing coal wagons. The coal particles left behind are noticeable with the naked eye, and more studies are currently being done to determine the effect uncovered coal has on air quality and human health. Correct panning for Mayfield Group John Hayes says the emissions are posing health risks and polluting the environment.
When you can see coal falling off train with the naked eye and photograph it with an ordinary camera and see it lying on the rail tracks, knowing that as that coal breaks down into finer and finer particles, it's only got two places to go. One is to be released in superfine particles into the air, and the other, when it breaks down sufficiently, to be washed into the waterways.
The Environment Protection Authority has now set up a regional illegal dumping squad in the Hunter with the aim to minimise illegal dumping. Investigations show tens of thousands of building and demolition materials, including those containing asbestos, has been illegally dumped in recent years. This has in part been blamed on rising costs of legal waste disposal. A professional trapper could soon be let loose across Hunter farms as wild dogs continue to wreak havoc on local producers. The new program's designed to reduce an increasing number of canine attacks in the region, eradicating aggressive turnouts by trapping the dogs in their natural habitat. Merriwar farmer Ron Campbell says they need to be proactive.
It runs into the thousands of dollars. It is not a pretty sight to see an animal that is really defenceless attacked by a vicious animal. Most of them either die or have to be euthanized, and any that get over, they have the scars of that attack. We've got to be able to show the government that, look, if you help us with some of this funding, this is going to help eradicate the problem. In other words, it's going to be successful.
The Australian Transport Safety Bureau have started an investigation into the mishap that saw a coal train wagon derailed in the Hunter earlier this year. It was said the train had a control braking fault while it was heading south from northwest of Murrurundi. Evidence and statements from those present at the scene is being collected by investigators, which will be analysed for a draft investigation report. Public health authorities are urging people who felt unwell with diarrhoea recently to avoid public swimming pools in light of an increase in a not-so-pleasant bug. Cryptosporidiosis is a bug which causes people to suffer diarrhoea, stomach cramps, and possible vomiting, and has seen a seasonal spike of almost 120 cases across the state so far. Hunter New England's public health physician Dr. David Durheim says people need to be mindful the bug can stay in their system for a few weeks after symptoms subside.
This is a time to warn the community and not to prepare food when they are symptomatic with diarrheal illness, and certainly not to go swimming until their symptoms have resolved and 2 weeks have passed. The parasite can actually remain secreted even though symptoms have actually finished or 2 weeks afterwards.
Sunday marks a major milestone for a Hunter favourite, the Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service, celebrating 40 years in the region's skies. Festivities commence from 10:15 a.m. on the corner of Watkins and John Parade, Merriweather. Crew members to join the public in a giant 40 formation, along with speeches and a live landing. General Manager Richard Jones says it's all part of their long history with the community.
It started in Sydney with the Lifesaver helicopter in 1973, and 2 years later they branched up here into the Hunter. It really took 10 to 15 years for it to evolve into where they actually carried medical people, as in the region's paramedics. It took a little bit of a while to get moving, but the momentum now, we don't know where it's going to stop with the new 10-year contract in April 2017.
In finance, the All Ords is down 85 points at 51.91, and $1 Australian dollar is buying 73.26 US cents.
Sport. Thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
The Newcastle Jets' Ben Kantarowski is set to line up in central defence tonight when he takes the field in his 100th starting appearance for the club. The 23-year-old Jets veteran is fast approaching the club's most played milestone, but says he's just taking it one game at a time.
That's just the nature of football. You can't really see where you're going to be, and I think that's just how the game is and how careers go. So, look, if I'm fortunate enough to play 100 more games for Newcastle, then I'll count my lucky stars even more.
Former Warners Bay junior Paul Hunter has begun training with the Adelaide Crows. The 22-year-old ruckman earned a belated shot at an AFL career when he was picked up by the Crows as their first choice in this year's rookie draft. And in cricket, Curry Western will be eyeing off a top 4 spot in the Maitland District Cricket Competition when they host second-place Western Suburbs at Curry Central this weekend. That's sport. I'm Christine Sheridan.
2 and your RFM news time is 1:05.